Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Outlier Podcast. I've got a actual outlier with me today. I've got Anubhav, one of my very good friends. We've been speaking almost for a year, and then I figured out his journey is very similar to mine, a very outlier journey. Obviously, my journey is not outlier; his is one. So, Anubhav, firstly, thank you for taking your time out and catching up with us today. So, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Anurag. Thank you so much for this opportunity. It means a lot. Thank you for the kind word. I don't know about the outlier, but it's some journey.
Absolutely. So, who Anubhav is? Anubhav is the Chief Product Officer and obviously, most importantly, co founder of ShiftMate, one of the fintech that have been doing cutting edge work in AI with credit unions. We can obviously deep dive onto more what they are doing. An amazing concept what Anubhav is working on. Anubhav, let's talk about your journey, sir. Let's talk about your story. I mean, what made you moved to the US, then started working for a few years, and then you finally taking your entrepreneurial journey, and making it real. So we'll talk about your journey a bit.
Yeah. Thanks, Anurag. Yeah, my story really starts in Odisha, India. And funny enough, it's actually closer to the Jharkhand border than mainland Odisha. Grew up in a small town, did all my basic education there, and then went on to do undergraduation in electronics engineering. Worked for JP Morgan Payments and a couple of other firms in India. And then in 2018, I decided to pursue my master's. And believe it or not, that was one of those most profound moments in my life because I got time to spend time with myself and really discover things that I am energized by. I want to say I figured out all the answers, but truth being told, I all I managed to do is develop a very good instinct about things that drew me, and it was building in first fast-paced environment, and that's where I was actually drawn towards joining Business Next. Back in the day, they were trying to enter the U.S. market and breaking into the credit union and community banking space. So I spent a significant amount of time there across multiple roles, implementation, product strategy, product. What it really allowed me to do is develop a acute understanding of credit union industry as such, and just the sheer realization of how much of this industry is about people helping people, how much of this is about relationship, how much of this is actually financial institution going and helping the community.
Wow.
So, believe it or not, this is how I met my co-founder Jason and Chris. And here I am, Chief Product Officer of ShiftMate AI. ShiftMate is a credit union, a QSO credit union service organization. We are built by our founding team is credit union insiders. Our investors are credit unions, and we are building our platform with a couple of credit unions together. So just a bunch of people truly grateful for this opportunity and enjoying this through and through, man.
Absolutely. I mean, fantastic journey, right? I mean, building something by the credit union for the credit union is something that's a dream that you're living now. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, coming in over here, working for a few years after your stint at Chase, and now running the company. I mean, how has been your experience? I mean, how has been your experience so far? I mean, how do you like this new chapter of your life?
Knock on the wood, man. It's been an absolute blast, and it's
Sure.
just I've never slept. I've never slept better in my life, and it's just the sheer privilege to work with the on the mission that we are on. And I think what really makes the difference is the ability to work with the wonderful people that we have in our team, and the opportunity to have the melding of mind, and when you're thinking and humming together and just coming together to build something you believe in, and then supported by just the sheer community of financial institution that's supporting us. It's just amazing. Really enjoy this journey.
I'm sure. I mean, your energy is infectious, right? I mean, both of us came over here and we just got absorbed into the ecosystem. We came from big banks, right? And when we got to know the mission of credit unions, we are like, wow, this is what both of us, since both of us came from very small town back in India, Anubhav. I mean,
Yeah.
we getting into the community. We understand community better than a lot of people because we've seen actual community at grassroots and then realizing that there are financial institutions who actually work for you and
Yeah.
not the other way. So that's amazing. And respect for you guys, right? Let's talk about Shiftmate. So I know it's a QSO that few credit unions have trusted you, invested on you. So what is Shiftmate about?
So my short version is ShiftMate is the growth brain that sits between your people and platform. What it does is it identifies real-time signal, turns them into value-first action, all while making sure that it's done in a auditable, it done in a compliant manner. in a policy driven manner. And
Mhm.
then it goes on to tell you what strategy really worked and what didn't and why. So what we have realized is all these many of the financial institutions actually have excellent growth strategy. The problem is in the execution,
Yeah.
because right from member intent to actions to decisions to conversion or measurement, so to say, is spread across core banking, online banking, card
Mhm.
systems, then go marketing notes at times. That's where shipment sits smack in between of this system of truths and convert real-time real-time member signals, and then converts them into value first action,
Mhm.
and then goes on to tell you that which strategy is actually working and what is not.
Amazing. So to summarize, right, this is the growth engine and the brain behind a credit union's growth journey or growth story. How can you deepen
Yep.
relationship? How can you ensure that you have better experiences, right? It's just not predicting the next best offer and looking at your EBIT,
Oh,
right? It's tying your next best action. I mean, requirement to action to fulfillment. So you're a brain behind the intelligence of how a member communication should happen, for lack
yeah,
of better
absolutely.
words.
Yeah, very well said. Is built like a closed loop system, which is really
Yeah,
important, which where it is sensing real time signal from different sources, doing the action, but doing it in a auditable and compliant and a policy driven manner. So
sure.
that's where a lot of engineering does. It's not a bolt on AI that you can just making an API call and
Mhm.
passing through. That's where the true engineering is going in, and then tracking the closed loop of what the outcome was, allowing you to understand that where are your leakages and working on it, like those aspect of things.
Absolutely. I mean, since both of us have done analytics for a living, your master's in, I mean, you've done your master's on actual analytics, right? Not AI, when AI was not cool. So we can talk analytics and then move to AI. So that's the reason I at times call Anubhav, at least once a month to pick his brain and ask for his point of view on where is actual AI taking us for credit unions. I mean, after Cloud Code, after Anthropic releasing Cloud Code, as well as on the other side, OpenAI releasing one new version of ChatGPT, the fastest change. And another interesting, I was reading about Jan LeCun, I mean, head of AI for Meta.
Hmm.
He's taking a different turn out of it. He's talking about that till now, LLMs have been trained mainly on text. So it is
Hmm.
defined to predict the next text in a sentence. That's the way how LLMs work. So he
Hmm.
is developing a company called Advanced Machine Intelligence AMI Labs, and they have raised $1 billion in
Hmm.
seed, right? One of the largest seed raised so far, right? So what they're talking about is how about predicting the next best or the next physical event that will happen. I mean, which means
Hmm.
training using data from sensors, from image, from video, plethora of sources. And you're not predicting the next word. You're predicting the next action in the real world. Think of it. I mean, it's literally fascinating, right? And
Yeah.
the way how the world is changing.
It's mind-boggling, man. This advances that's happening in the frontier data models and LLMs. It's just so exciting, isn't it? Like it's just such an amazing time to be living and building software. The way we in ShiftMate are seeing this is, especially when I distill down to credit unions and community
Yeah,
banks, we see a real challenge coming in this direction where, I mean, there is always growth platforms in shape in institution on various sizes. So either it can be a relationship manager or marketing or your online banking, your core banking, origination systems. What's happening is everybody's focusing on bolting on AI into
yeah,
these platforms. So what happens is your activities, you're 10xing your activities, but not necessarily your outcomes is becoming 10x.
yeah,
Why?
yeah,
Because some of these activities fairly can be counterintuitive. Some of these are, I mean, in many times from a member's perspective, irrelevant also. That's where investing in an orchestration layer, where the answer is not to not bolt on AI. The answer is to invest in an orchestration layer which can sense all these signals or context from different platforms, distill it, synthesize it, and then decide what is your best course or value first action. In doing that, it has to factor in the context of and the preference of the member. So factoring in your relationship and then the preference of the institution, because that is really
sure.
your policies and your procedures are really important to factor in, and then goes on to execute in the channel that you prefer, whether it's
Yeah,
digital or human in the loop. So that's where we think that that's a key piece that's going to come into this industry, and that's where if these are problems that you're thinking about, ShiftMate has got you covered there.
Yeah, I mean, really proud of what you guys are inventing, innovating, firming, for the lack of better words out there.
Thanks, man.
Cool stuff. Cool stuff about what you're doing, what you're doing interesting. Let's pivot back to the mission, right? We talked about both of us got glued into this ecosystem because of the mission of people helping people. This is no vaporware. This is nothing hypothetical. This is real, right? That's the reason. Where do you think is the movement going? Both of us have spent at least 6, 7 years. I mean, you spent more than 7 years. I spent not 6, 7. I spent 3 years. But we have a decent handle on where the movement is progressing. Where do you think is the credit union movement progressing, and what does it tomorrow look like?
I mean, it's such a fascinating topic, Anurag, you asked, because it's a topic that we think deeply about. I mean, I'll be remiss to say there is overarchingly there is consolidation in play. That's the movement. But what we believe is community banks. I mean, just I was in a couple of recent customer visit where they mentioned that. Our branches are the third place for the member. Think of it. It's just people coming and hanging out there. Like, that's how do you break that USP when you have that? Like, it's difficult for a Bank of America or a Chase, not to name them, but just to come have that grassroots relationship for generations of membership, and to go in and do that on a repeated basis. And I think that's where the strength of trade union industry is. That's where once they, if you really break it down, if relationship is the strength and if growth is your target, then growing your ability to maintain this relationship in a meaningful manner and a sustainable way with the team members that you have becomes the problem in hand. So that's where investing in those
Sure.
aspect of things is where we think this industry and this whole movement is heading towards.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, for sure. Uh, let's talk about not bottlenecks but challenges, right? Because none of the evolution has ever happened without challenges, be it
Yeah.
human, be it across the globe, right? If you were to pick up one of the biggest technological challenges right now in the
Mhm.
ecosystem of credit unions, what would that be, and what would you think that might be a solution to it?
Think I don't want to be sound biased, but think of the purchase pattern that has happened over the last few decades, or last few years. Bulk of it is investment in solutions which are very good at what they do.
Yeah.
So what's happening is there's a lot of investment in either a data warehouse or a relationship side or the marketing side, or
Yeah.
let's say on integration service bus. There's a lot of technological spend that's happening, but the problem is ability to bring it all together coherently and understand that what is the preference of my member, what is the preference of my organization, and execute from a vantage point of my preference in the market, which target customer that I want to target, whether is indirect my forte, is direct lending and HELOC my forte, understanding that forte as an institution and just ability to execute on that, and having your systems in the back end that support you in that mission is, I think, one of the greatest challenges that I hear very commonly. So there are great platforms in place, but that unifier and combined growth brain that brings it together and tells you what's
Yeah.
the best thing to do is just missing. And I
Mhm.
frankly, it's a component of also, I don't want to sound that we have figured out something like something earth shattering. It's a component of also how the technology has evolved. Technology, the evolution in the technology has also allowed for something like this to exist. So I do want to acknowledge that aspect of things while we speak
So,
about this.
Saurabh, this was great, right? I mean, you touching upon the entire spectrum of things, your journey, how did you get glued to credit unions, then becoming an expert, then building something that's really significant for credit unions, building the AI brain for credit unions, and then also dovetailing on what are the challenges, and how do you think this can be solved. This has been an amazing episode of the show, Anubhav. I really thank you for your time today, and we look
Thank,
forward to hosting you in other roundtables and sessions. But this was amazing, brother. Appreciate it.
thank, thank you, Anurag. Absolutely love this conversation. Absolutely love the work and kind of the awareness that you spend. And thank you so much for this opportunity. And looking forward to being connected with you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.